As I was thinking about it, it came to my attention that wolf's head refers to Set, and the wolf is a reference to Satan. Masonry likes to look for commonalities between religions and likes to compare them all and blend them all together, as you see with the New Age. They believe in the nomad and God consciousness and under certain New Age terms, and I've gone over this before. Okay, so what you're seeing is a link between the military, Michael Aquino, the Temple of Set, and Yale University, which obviously leads you to Bush and his neocon administration, and which obviously connects to the Republican Party as well, and by default with the Liberal Party, because the neoconservatives don't magically lose their liberal connections. They're all part of the same club, if you will. They used to be liberals, they're new conservatives, right? So, once you connect it all together, what are you left with? You're left with great evils. And even if you don't believe that explanation, you have to look at the fact that when you go to valid sources about Egypt, they refer to Anubis as the black dog. Now, I've decided that it must refer to Set because Anubis is underrepresented by the occult. They tend to try to zero in on Typhoon and different versions of the devil in different pagan cultures. They tend to ignore these quote-unquote lesser deities. And besides, Anubis does not really meddle in the affairs of man. That's another thing that gives away that it must be Set. Okay, so that last video I made, the one about the Brazilian Society and their motto, it is one way to look at what it means, what their symbol means, if it was just to be put out there randomly without being associated with a particular group. But since it's this particular group doing it, one is forced to the conclusion that it must be Set that they're referring to. Now, some of you might say, well, what does a wolf have to do with Set? Well, wolves in the Egyptian mythology, don't go hand in hand. Jackals do. And the jackals were mistaken for other creatures, especially by foreigners, especially during the foreign period, when a bunch of Europeans, we'll call them, came and said, oh, that reminds me of a dog. That reminds me of a wolf. Things that are native to their land. The synchronism, this amalgamation that took place. They say, well, that stuff reminds us of this, and therefore we will give it new meaning. Okay? And also you have to understand esotericism and the true meaning. Okay? These people say, well, the meaning that we are projecting is a meaning of convenience. The true meaning goes back to what that symbol originally means, which it means the god of chaos, the brother of Osiris, the killer of Osiris, and what have you. The violation of the order of things, the natural order. And whenever you have an order out of chaos, or an order from controlled chaos, if you will, you have a chaotic order. It is not a true order. It is, it's about as much of an order as the order of hell. Yes, there's a certain structure to it, but no, it doesn't. It's not truly how it's meant to be. It's pathetic. It's inferior. These people are inferior. There's no excuse for what they're doing. It's demonic. It's selfish. It's petty. It's psychotic. Tupac was right when he described it in his song "If I Die Tonight." Secret psychotic societies. Absolutely right. They are psychotic. What they're doing is extremely delusional. And, all racism aside, let's face it, this is what happens when these crazy white people who love their extreme sports, take on religion. Okay? All racism aside. Again, I'm half white. That gives me, it puts me in a position to truly explain it to you without feeling bad about it. Now, white people tend to dabble in what they don't understand, and they tend to bring their own meaning to it. You know, they say, look at these savages. You know, when they came across the Native Americans, right? These evil red savages. They dabbled in what they didn't understand. They gave their own meaning to it, and they made that meaning mainstream. It's part of their mainstream social norms. It's the same thing with Egyptian religion. The difference was that white people had advanced scientifically to a certain stage. By the time they encountered the Native Americans, they were very primitive when they encountered the ancient Egyptians. And their fucking interpretation was intensely childish at best. So they started coming up with these Nancy boy secret societies. And what do you think happens when the most ignorant fucks around rise to power and they start defining things? I always tell you people, the dangers of these secret society cowards defining things. There's no words for these dangers. I mean, it is just extremely hazardous and detrimental to society. They inadvertently, gave meaning to things, and they didn't care how injudicious it was, how dangerous it was, how wrong it was, how it harms the greater society. These are the bunch of have it your way bitches. Burger King motherfuckers. Okay, have it your fucking way. Even if you destroy nature and twist everything and fucking just ruin the future of humanity and drug everybody and rape everybody. Have it your way as long as it makes you feel good. And then, of course, mental illnesses are defined by how one thinks, behaves, and feels. These are a bunch of feel-good, visit shrinks and therapists and psychologists ass bitches. Bunch of fucking scum. I'm sick of these lowly dogs hiding from me like the bitches they are. It's just like Seth hiding from Horus when he starts getting his ass whooped. The tail between his fucking legs. They are lowly dogs and jackals hiding from the glory of the falcon and his divine connection with the one true God. They are fucking weak. They don't deserve what they have. They don't deserve to be, so help me God, they do not deserve to be in power. And all their social controllers don't deserve to be in positions of social control. They all lack the most important characteristic of a great leader. And that is righteousness. They lack that. They lack honor. They don't deserve. They aren't qualified. So help me God! They are not qualified to be leaders. And they need to be overthrown. Even with their own mythology, Seth is overthrown by Horus. According to their own mythology, they should be at my fucking feet begging for their lives. Why God and the angels judge me superior. I should be in charge, not these fucking effeminate cowards.